Why am I on this side?
Oh, because you're taking the lead. It's your show.
Oh, I'm taking the lead?
Yeah, go ahead and greet the people.
Hello, the people. Hi, I'm Froggie. This is my sidekick, Puppetine.
Just for today. Don't get too cocky there, Froggie.
I will hop wherever I want to hop.
Anyway.
All right. So you have to forgive me. I just kind of blanked this part because I didn't realize I was taking the lead today. It starts off with, well, I have to go look at my cheat sheet because I don't remember.
Oh, you can't remember. We're talking about Titans today.
I know we're talking about Titans. Yeah, but I'm saying episode 6, Lady. Oh yeah. Okay, now I remember. Starts off with Lady Vic inside a restaurant. She's mad. She's kind of like sitting there. She's holding a man ring, a wedding band on her finger, watching these two cops from Gotham celebrating their anniversary. You know, they're keeping another relationship on the download. She gets upset by this. They go out to start the car up. The car doesn't start. They open it up, top of the hood. They find out the battery's been cut. She throws a freaking knife at the guy's back, kills the cop. And then the lady cop comes out, and she goes to shoot, but instead of shooting, she gets a knife to the hand, and then she gets jabbed in the ribs. Yeah, it was kind of violent. And I was like, man. And then it says, "Welcome to Gotham. Go the F home."
Yep. Go the Frog home.
Yeah. I gotta say, that's probably the best sign I've seen in this whole entire show. I like when they show this. Yeah.
It's a truthful one. We go quickly from there to the characters we're actually supposed to care about a little bit at Wayne Manor, where Starfire is bringing home Blackfire, her sister. And she brings him inside, and Superboy is there to say hi. And for some reason, Blackfire just thinks that he's a manservant to have him cleaned and go to his chambers.
Yeah, because Blackfire is used to being royalty over on Tamarian. On Earth, she's not used to their customs. You know, she's been inside a freaking glass box for like the past year, or between the seasons.
Yep.
It's just so weird how they rewrote her part. She was the big baddie, supposed to be the baddie for this season, this season, and then we find out in the beginning, oh, she's just locked away. Like, why did you cut that part out? So
I think they didn't want to. I think they didn't want to make her the villain. Instead, they have a terrible storyline going for Jason Todd, who
was a hero, never a villain. Isn't that weird? How like the villain is now you're supposed to feel sorry for her because because she says I never got powers. The fire power were all royal blood Tamarians do, like my sister. So I was treated like an outcast, the cursed child. You know, boo-hoo. You kill your parents and you kill everybody. I mean, like, if it's self-defense, that's one thing, but you just go out and murder people? Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. And she's trying to, like, really, like, play on Connor, because Connor, you know, they're sitting outside the lab because one of the, well, we'll get to that part, you know, but I will. So Jason finds out, you know, that he's not the #1 golden child for what's his name? For Scarecrow. For Dr. Crane. Dr. Crane, he brought in Lady Vic. Lady Vic, who is a Nightwing villain. And yeah, we get to see more, and then also we get to see more in this episode of Barbara back when she had legs that worked. And instead of becoming Batgirl, they make a quip about it. She was robbing places. Like she's pulling, and Robin meets her. He's like, and she pulls her mask, and he's like, Barbara. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, what's with the whole Selena Kyle thing? She's like, oh, I just wanted to break the rules. So, and he's like, well, you could join me. Why don't you join me and Bruce? She's like, was what? As a Robin? He's like, this is a horrible thing. Dick Grayson would never say it. But he's like, you could be Lady Robin.
Robin Girl.
Robin Girl. And she's like, well, what about Batgirl? And he's like, no, Robin Girl. I'm thinking like, no. So instead of like, turn her here in, or she would stop robbing places. No, She gets him to come in, and they fall in love, and they rob places together.
She's a terrible influence. They take a character who's supposed to put on a costume and fight crime herself, and instead turn her into a criminal. Because she likes to be bad. I don't want to hear another word out of her mouth scolding Robin or Batman or anything when she's the very thing they should be stopping. It doesn't matter if she's doing it for fun. It's still wrong. Yeah, you knew I wasn't going to be happy with that, did you?
Oh, yeah, I know. I know you weren't going to let that roll on by. Anyway, rolling right along.
Yeah, well, so this flashback we get into their past is actually just an illusion. What? No, it really did happen, but to a point where they're kissing on the bed, Dick realizes, hey, I have a gunshot here. Dun dun! And then he wakes up. Because 2 episodes ago he was shot, and now he's okay. He's getting patched up.
Yep.
And he is really kind of gung-ho about getting to business.
Yeah, he goes back to the manor. They patch him up, and he's like, okay, well, there was this another thing, person attacked over, at the hospital, so I have to go over there, and Tori, and not Tori, sorry, Corey says, like, what you just lost like a pint of your blood or a quart of your blood. You need to rest. He's like, I need to go. He's like, you got shot. He's like, Batman got shot all the time. And he's like, she's like, well, look how that turned out. He's like, I'll have to do better. He smiles and he walks away. And he brings Corey along. They go there. He flashes a badge. At this point, I'm in the season. I was like, this is season 3. He hasn't been a cop since the first season. And that was in Detroit. So at this point, I think he's been fired. He was in San Francisco, and then now he's in Gotham. Dude, you didn't show up for work, bro. There's no way you're still a cop anymore. I mean, and now you're impersonating a cop because you're wearing a badge, flashing a badge. Anyway, so they're denied they enter the crime scene. So he's like, and Corey's like, well, he's like, well, we can't keep going on this. She's like, you need to bring the whole team in on this. He's like, no, I'll handle this. And like, she's like, well, you can't do this if you have one arm tied behind your back. She's like, you need to go make up with Barbara. And he's like, okay. And then he walks back. He sees a camcorder, like, security cam in the hallway. So he figures, okay, the lady who went in there, Lady Vic, who went and basically she slaughtered all these people in there, doctors, just so she could steal equipment. Some kind of new, yeah.
During that scene, we saw Jason and Scarecrow watching her come in.
That's how Jason basically Scarecrow says, you know what? You're replaceable. Don't think you weren't. And then Jason's And this is where villains really screw up. Yep. You tell a messed up kid that he's replaceable, he's gonna kill you, bro. I think Scarecrow's gonna die at the end by Jason.
He might, because Jason is irredeemable at this point, and I don't care if he's being treated like crap by Scarecrow.
Yep. So okay, moving on right along to this. They weren't able to pull the video footage at all, because it was blocked, but they have audio. He does Dick does talk to Barbara first. They kind of do make up. They kind of fight, and they go, well, he's like, your guy shot me. He's like, well, you want a protocol now because I got a villain on the loose, and they're maniac. He's like, I almost had it, and I'm thinking, dude, Barbara, you're in the wrong. You shot him, Yeah, he probably shouldn't have done what he does, but do you know what he does for a living? Dick knew what he was doing, and you didn't trust him because you hate Batman, and you're not in control because you're in a wheelchair. You have self-pity because you can't do anything. Sorry, I don't care what people say. She's an angry ginger.
Yeah, there's some fire to her hair.
Yeah, no, but I'll probably get yelled at because I said, well, you can't say that. Dick was in the wrong, but yeah, but it comes down to it. He's Robin. She never was, Batgirl.
Yeah, so, she was never anything involved with him. Nothing at all. Thus, her opinion on the matter is totally irrelevant. If she was Batgirl before, at least she'd have something to hold on to. But she wasn't. She was just a petty criminal.
Yeah, she only became a cop because her dad died.
Yep.
That's the only reason she's commissioner. To follow her dad's footsteps. But before that, she cared less. Oh, I'm just her excuse to telling Jake why she was robbed place. Oh, to keep my dad on his toes. You're doing this to help your dad? No, you're not. You psychopath.
Nope.
Anyway, so yeah, they make up. They whatever. Dick goes back to the Batcave and he plays an audio file and he guards are there with him too. And this is really cool. This is what I did. I actually like this. This is a little bit detective work. I hope we see this kind of stuff in the Batman movie coming up. As because Dick Grayson, just by listening to the sounds and he has guard with another sword similar to that, swinging it around, and he tells him where to swing it. He can pinpoint how high how with the height of the person, killing people, what kind of sword they use, and the strength and all that stuff. So and then it kind of triggers a memory because he's like, I know someone like this. Barbara gets up after Dick left. Barbara got a phone call on her private phone, which is not normal because she keeps it in the desk. She's like, who would be calling me? Because I pissed everybody off. She doesn't have any friends. She gets a call and it's Bruce. He's like, Barbara, we need to go meet. Where it all began, the crime alley, where my parents are. Like, blah blah blah. And
she goes.
She goes, and I'm like, dude, why would you give a crap about Bruce? Bruce left. And even if you didn't know Bruce left, you hated him. You told everybody to stay away from him. You can't trust him. So, congratulations, writers. You just turned her into a Karen. And I'm sorry for
it's been this way since the first episode of this season.
Actually, it was the second, wasn't it? I believe when they introduced, or was it the first? I can't remember because they launched the first three at once. So I get those confused. I call them as one
Me
giant
too.
freaking
I'm
episode.
a little confused as well. I think it's the first.
Maybe it is the first, but because Jason dies in the first one, he has to know. But I thought the funeral's in the second one. But anyway, that's not important.
Anyway.
So, and I apologize, anybody named Karen. Not all of you are bad. It's just the ones that are bad. Give all you other Karens a bad name. So stand up and take your name back. Okay, that's my little PSA.
Karen Lives Matter.
Yes, Karen Lives Matter.
Yes.
Care about Karens.
Anyway.
Yeah, we got sidetracked. Sorry for hopping off. Let's hop back onto this train. All right. Whoop. All right. So they introduced who it was. Barbara's led into a trap. And this is cute. She's a little wheelchair. And then she's there. All right, I'm here. And she hears the voice recording again. It's a little Apple box or iPhone, sounding.
Yep.
And it's just, playing the thing. And she's like, oh crap, it's a trap. And she was going up before to meet Bruce. Dick was calling her because Dick already knows who it was. It's Lady Vic. Because we get a flashback prior to this that shows 6 years ago when they were going to go. Her and Barbara were going to rob something. Lady Vic and her I guess her husband or boyfriend, lover, came in. They came in also steal stuff too, and they all fighting. This is when we got to see Barbara doing some sick fighting moves and all and stuff like that. And same with Robin, so. Lady Vic is gonna go throw a knife at after she slices Barbara's leg, she's gonna throw a knife at at Robin, and instead Barbara pushes this guy pushes Lady Vic's arm away, and Dick spins the other guy around at the last minute, not even know what's going on, and the guy gets thrown the dart, the dagger through his heart. So she murdered her own lover. She takes his ring, because the alarm's going off, and then she kind of leaves. That's all he left it like that scene. So she blames them for her murdering her own lover. I think it's like if you just would have left, and I think that's why she's called Lady Victim because she because she blames them. Because literally, I think she is called. I'm not sure if that's why, but the comic books she's called Lady Vic, but there's also a nickname called Lady Victim. Anyway, so that was a flashback. So here, the president, in the alley, she's gonna fight against Barbara. Barbara pulls a gunner. She knocks the gun out. Then Barbara pulls out her batons.
Yep.
Yep.
Always there in the wheelchair, apparently.
Yeah, and she does. And this is the first time we've seen her in comics. Using fighting with the wheelchair like that. So that was kind of cool. Yeah. But I was just like, she's not even Batgirl, so how would she even know how to use that stuff unless Dick was training her? Did she go to like some karate class? when she in between robbing places, or did Dick train her together? Did they train together? We don't know because we all know she wasn't trained by Bruce.
Yep.
So she gets flashed in the eyes, she blinded, and then what's her name leaves, ends up running away because she, couldn't kill her. Dick, and she finally calls Dick, and they show up at her apartment. Dick is walking through with a flashlight first, it's dark in there, and she's got a sweet loft. This is kind of cool. Anyway, yeah, and he's getting flashbacks of when he's in the bedroom, and he's like, oh yeah, when they had, they did it and all this stuff. You can tell that Dick is like, well, he's no longer with Corey. Him and Corey are kind of like kaput since like this first season. They're not really lovers. Doesn't seem that way. He's having romantic feelings for Barbara, and Barbara's kind of feeling it too. He's like, and I thought we are gonna go get a little Dick Grayson booty call here, with Oracle, because she's no longer Oracle, but because this was in the comics too. Yeah. They wrote. I don't know if I remember what it was. I think it was New Teen Titans. They wrote it where Dick was supposed to be getting married to Corey, and then he goes and he shows up at Barbara's apartment, and they have sex, and she's handicapped too. She's in the wheelchair. So I'm like, are they gonna react that scene?
No, they don't.
No, they don't. No, he just leaves. He's always like, hey, lock up, smile, walks away. So, meanwhile, this is going on. Corey and Blackfire and Superboy, they are tracking down a lead on the device that was stolen and the doctor who created it. She's out in this warehouse. She's got the same bomb that was attached to Hank's chest, a heart bomb. This time though, we see Connor knows what to do, and he saves her within like 5 seconds.
Yeah, because before it was a question of knowing what to do, really, because he was just learning how to do all that.
Yeah. So
and now he can save lives. But
I'm surprised he hasn't been more effed up. He thought he killed Hank, but then even though Dawn said like, oh, I pulled the trigger, doesn't mean anything though. He wasn't fast enough. You think he'd be more messed up. Anyway.
Well, he could have just gone and flown around the Earth and reversed its rotation.
Does he have super speed? I've only seen him with super jumping power. He's bulletproof and like that.
I don't know. It was a joke.
Well, I'm just curious because we've seen in other iterations, like Young Justice cartoon, he doesn't have all those powers. He has super strength and stuff, but he's not. He's limited because his human side. We're on stream here, not Zoom.
Here I come to save the day.
All right. Hey, MKF, and hey, Marania, and anybody else you might be watching. So they discover, they save her, and then they kind of just walk out. Like, there's no cops or calling nothing. They're like, you still have the bomb, even when we deactivate it, it's still your chest. See, have a good day. And they just walk out. It's like, what are you doing? Yeah, you're the worst kind of superheroes ever. Like, oh, thank you, saved my life. I still have this freaking thing in my chest. Don't worry though, I'll cut it up myself. Ugh. Yeah. That was so dumb.
For real.
All they do is mention, the cops are on the way. Should we take? Because kind of got to say like, what's going to happen to her? Well, the cops are on their way. They're going to take care of her.
Yep.
That's all they had to say. Instead, we get to see a smart side of Connor, where Connor just repeats, what the device is for, and Corey's like, can you say that in English? She's like, I don't. He says like it can multiply like in chemicals and all that stuff. It can make more of what he wants, at an instant rate pace, And she does. Yeah, so and she's like, well, what would you do? He's like, well, I'm not sure. I'm thinking like, it's Crane wants this. He does fear gas.
Yep.
Are you guys just that stupid? I mean, Connor. I'm sorry, Connor. Yes, he's not dumb. But I'll admit that he is still a clone. But it's been
he's like he's not even a year old yet, is he?
We don't know how old he is. Because man, that was season 2. We met Connor. This is season 3. We don't know how long of a time jump there was. It seemed like in the beginning there was, because Hank was no longer Hawk. He was a biker. So
he's a big baby.
So
he's not whiny like a baby, but he is just a big baby.
I don't think he's like 2. I think he's more an aged mental level of a 5 or 6 year old. Because he does know common things and all stuff. He's learning. There's still things he doesn't understand, like sex talk. He doesn't know because, that's another thing. Corey, it brought Blackfire home with him. Blackfire was, remember when she was hitting on him, he was, which one's my manservant? Like, oh, I'll take this one. Go draw me a bath. And he's and Car's like, excuse me? And like Corey's like, she's like, no. He is not your boy toy. You cannot tell him to do. He's like, and he actually says like, no, Connor says, yeah, I'll help you whenever you want. It's like, not knowing that she's implying.
I'm happy to attend your needs.
Exactly. Yeah, he doesn't know that she's like, I need special needs. Yeah. And then so anyway, that's all done. So all this is going on. So then we go back to Red Hood. Red Hood, who looks awesome in the suit when he's in the light, not when he's so freaking dark we can't see anything. Surprisingly, because usually a lot of the suits they use for costumes look horrible when you see them in daylight because of the leather and all that stuff. I'm looking at you, Errol. Yeah, I know. This actually, so he goes to the warehouse where they're making the drugs. The guy, and he's like, "I want all your drugs now." He's like, and the guy's like,
your drugs.
And he's like, "We understand that Crane's in charge," and he puts the gun to the guy's head. Who's in charge again? So,
dun, dun.
So, all right. So we get a quick shot of Crane talking to Lady Vic. He's like, "Did you do your job?" Like she's like, "The dumb bitch got away." He's like, "But did you finish your job?" Sure. And she shows us she's got a picture of Barbara's face. For whatever reason, I'm not sure if they're gonna use it for like unlocking things or if they're trying to frame her.
Yeah, not sure. But other than that, there's not. I think that about wraps up the episode. I think you did a good job, Froggie.
Yeah. Oh, there's only one key part at the end.
Oh, go ahead.
With Tim. We finally see Tim since the very first episode because Jason handed out the drugs to everybody. He was handing out the drugs people. He's selling them. He's like, fuck, because this is another thing. It's like I don't want to swear, but he's like, F Crane. I do what I want. And he's handing out the drugs people. It's the samples. He's putting on the streets. And the dude huffs it, and he goes into the Chinese restaurant, takeout place where Tim and his parents are living, and they just shoots up everybody. Shoots his dad. We don't see his mom. We don't see his brother in there. So I don't know if they just shot his dad.
I think his brother's okay. I think he told his brother to call the police.
Yeah, and and we see Jason outside going, "I need my hair." Yeah, okay, my eyes glow. That's it.
So the little theory time. I think this is just going to end up with. It will end up with Dick becoming Batman
and Tim becoming Robin.
And Tim Drake will be his Robin.
Yep.
That's it. That's all there. That's all she wrote.
Do you think this will get another season?
I don't know. I think maybe. Tell me. Don't ask me why. Listen, this show
you know why?
Because
you know why you don't know why? Because you don't know Dick.
Well, no, I don't know Jack. I know Dick because I watched the show.
Okay.
I don't know Jack. But anyway, I think that about does it, right?
Yeah.
Ultimately, this show does have some things that are enjoyable to watch. It's a hard thing to say, but just character assassination across the board is really hard, and there's a lot of it. There's a ton of it, and that makes this so difficult. But ultimately, you've heard the recap. Our review, it really is struggling. It's a struggle for us to watch.
And I got to ask you, compared to the CW shows, do you think this is worse?
Worse.
Same level?
Worse.
I got to say it's a little better. I mean, and as far as storytelling, I mean, the character... I treat this as an Elseworlds.
I will not forgive the line last season where Starfire said that Bruce Wayne was mansplaining to them. The CW pulls a lot of crap. They don't pull that crap.
I want to tell you right now, there's no one going saying, "You're not Nightwing, we're Nightwing." Ugh. There's no Iris.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, there's no team, no Flash, no Team Arrow.
Well, this show's all
Dick's
about
doing Dick's doing what he needs to get done.
But we have different thoughts, and that's okay.
Similarities. Roy was a druggie, a miracle. And look, Jason Todd's a druggie. They're both sidekicks.
Yeah. But see, Roy wasn't irredeemable. Jason is. Anyway.
All right.
I think that about does it.
Yeah.
I want to take this time to look at this little ticker down here. You see what it says? It asks you to please like and subscribe and to comment. Let us know your thoughts. If you disagree with us, that's fine. Tell us why. We want to hear about it. Also, make sure to check out the Ko-Fi. We do a lot of comic book readings, but comic books, well, they cost money. And so a little help at the Ko-Fi would be appreciated. And if you have a specific book you'd like us to check out and try to read for you, then go ahead and list it with your tip. And we'll make sure to put it at the top of the list. Okay?
Yep.
I think that about does it. So am I okay to do the outro?
I guess so. Well, we'll take. Well, anybody have any questions at all? I didn't see anything.
Questions?
Apart about the show, not about his shirt. Although I'm gonna put a little S in your shirt. You can be Lex Luthor boy. Yeah.
Here I come to save the day.
Well, can you imagine if he was bald and looked like Lex Luthor?
Oh, also, this does give me a second to go ahead and say, give a little check to I Love Comics because they're going to be doing, I believe, a First Appearance Friday for Shang-Chi. That'll be cool. And
is it Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
I don't know.
He's a guy who's got a movie out right now.
Yes, and I did see the movie. I guess they pronounced it Shang. It really sounded more like Shang whenever his parents were speaking to me. But I guess I just have
Red Hood is not a discount Iron Man. Sorry, Marania.
No, because at least if he was a discount Iron Man, there'd be something cool to watch about him other than his suit.
And he doesn't have a suit of armor. He just has a helmet. Just like, in the comics, he just puts a helmet on. And then he wears a mask underneath like a bandana. So, so if his helmet ever gets destroyed, which for this season they decided, you know what, we're not going to do that. He's just going to be stupid and rely on just wearing a helmet.
Yeah. But I think that about does it. So we really, wait. We did not see the new Mortal Kombat animated movie.
I said about the show, not about other things.
Okay, then I'll end it. Thank you all so much for watching. We will see you next time for Titans here on Comic Book Puppets. First time I've gotten to use that title. But seriously, for Froggie and myself, thank you. We'll see you next time. Bye!
Eat at Joe's.